So, video number 2, I think. This isn't the second video that I've recorded, but it's probably going to be the second one that I upload because weirdness and things and logic in my brain doesn't always work. Yes, so today I re-listened to a second tape in the cognitive behavioral therapy tape thing that I'm doing. Yes, so backstory, the therapy that I'm going to try is from the Social Anxiety Institute, which is led by Dr. Thomas Richards, and it says on their website that they are the only facility that is focused on social anxiety specifically. I don't know if that's true, but it's on their website. Seems like a legit website. This institute has been successfully around for a long time, I guess. So I first heard about this therapy on Reddit, actually. I remember when. This was almost a year ago, and I had lost my job when I was working at Target, and I was trying to figure out where I could work. And so, do the Google search for best jobs for people with social anxiety, and the most ridiculous things come up. That, you could be a writer, you could be a translator, you can be a hermit for the rest of your life and just eat other people's scraps. I don't know. A bunch of things that weren't necessarily super realistic. And then you, of course, have the people who are like, well, maybe you should just get over it and go talk to people because you're an adult and stop being a baby. Cool, thanks. Helpful. But the search ended up getting me to a Reddit post where somebody had posed that same question, and somebody responded by saying that, not really answering the question, but saying you should be working towards moving beyond your anxiety and getting better. And, you had the typical things that you have with most mental disorders, your exercise, getting the right amount of sleep, eating healthy, having your body feel good so that your mind can feel good. And the person who said that also said that he had a lot of success through the Social Anxiety Institute and their therapy. So I looked it up, and I've had it for a while. I've tried starting it a few times, but this time I'm going to do it, and I'm going to stick with it, and you guys hold me to it if I'm not updating weekly. Every 7 days, you should expect an update from me, because you're supposed to listen to, it has like 28 tracks, and you're supposed to do one track every week. Yes, so basically, how it works is you purchase the tracks, the audio files, and then you also get a handbook. And it's called Overcoming Social Anxiety. Has wonderful reviews, so many success stories. For the most part, people love it. I left my window open and have people walking by, and my dog's about to lose his mind. Yep, there he goes. Okay. Mostly now I'm just really concerned about people out there being able to hear me talking, but deep breath. I'm going to go with it. You can see my dog over here losing himself over another dog being in his vicinity and barking, and I need you to shush. Okay. Yes, so you have a booklet that has handouts that you're supposed to read, and then you have the different tracks that you're supposed to listen to, one per week. And Each track is about an hour long, and they're all recorded by Dr. Richards. In the first track, he kind of talks about his own experiences with anxiety and things of that nature. And the second track is when you actually get into the cognitive behavioral therapy, which, from the way that he describes it, cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is changing your thinking habits over time. And that's one of the things that gets stressed over and over and over again in these tapes, is that everything is going to take time. I'm going to start the therapy today. I have started the therapy today, and I'm not going to see results tomorrow. I might not even see results next week. But if I don't keep trying, then I'm never going to get those results. So it's putting, not the pressure per se, but it's putting the responsibility on me. The ball is in my court. And I can either do these things or I can't. Those are my only options. Good news is the assignments, not really sure what else to call them, but the assignments that you're given through this therapy is, the assignments are simple. They're small things, tiny, tiny, tiny behavioral changes, and you have an entire week to practice them. And the first part is to catch these behaviors, because they're automatic. And, the behaviors could be rushing thoughts, thinking that everyone is staring at you. It could be crossing to the other side of the sidewalk when somebody is walking towards you, or speaking very, very, very quickly when you do have to talk, so that it can be over and done with and your talking is done for the day. No more social interaction. Yay me! To check that off my list. Yeah, so the task for this week is what Dr. Richards calls slow talk. And what you have to do is rather self-explanatory. Just talk slower. And I have done this part of the therapy before. It takes so much effort when first starting. And even throughout this video, I've completely forgotten. And right now, I'm about to go off like a cannon with my speed. But it's taking the time to say your words, to say them slowly. And part of the purpose is that when you're talking slowly, then your brain is also slowing down, which keeps it from getting into that overdrive, and you have a further sense of control because you're not allowing your speech to just fly out. You're actually being cognizant of it. And finally, it sort of stops the adrenaline from going, because when you're doing something quickly, even just speaking, you're getting that sense of urgency in and just building that energy, and the adrenaline's going to kick in, and that's where the anxiety comes from. I do want a quick side note caveat to say that my explanation and my kind of reviews and experiences with this overcoming social anxiety tapes and programs should not at all substitute actually doing the therapy, because, like I said, each session is almost 60 minutes long. I think they're closer to about 45, 50 minutes, but somewhere in that range. And my 5-minute rundown, 10-minute explanation of what it is not at all going to fill that gap. Back to my side note. So what's nice about this, about the expectations, is that, and I think it stems from Dr. Richards having suffered from social anxiety himself for a good portion of his life. He understands that saying, well, just put yourself out there, isn't helpful. And so what you need to do for your assignments each week is spend 30 minutes a day practicing whatever behavioral change is the focus for that week. And so for 30 minutes a day, I will need to practice slow talk. And when I start, I'm not going to go out to a random person in the grocery store and slow talk at them. But I'm going to start in my comfort zone and, read something out loud for 30 minutes to myself. Probably sit in the closet while I do it because that's my safe space. And, nobody will be around, nobody will hear me, and it will allow that slower pace to start to feel more natural to me. And then once I get comfortable with that, I can move on to starting to use slow talk with my fiance, who, for the most part, I have virtually no social anxiety with speaking to. There are very, very, very few things that I actually feel anxious talking to him about, which is great. And it's part of why I love him so much, because he's so wonderful. But so I'll move on to that. And from there, I will just baby steps, push myself to more things. So maybe the next time I talk to my mom, I will talk to her in slow talk and then get comfortable there. And the thing is that these exercises build up from week to week. So I don't only have 7 days to use slow talk. Once I hit the next tape session onto week 2, I'm still going to be using slow talk. So I don't only have 7 days to go from sitting in a closet with a book by myself, slow talking, to I have to use slow talk every day with everyone, and no. So I can slowly build up to, okay, once I'm comfortable with my mom, maybe then I can start to slow down my speech when I'm talking to my fiance's family. And then from there, I can slow down when I talk to the cashier at the grocery store, or if I need to ask a question in a store, which is a challenge in and of itself. So those kinds of things, the expectations are realistic, I feel, so far. So yeah, basically, that's what I'm going to be working on for the next week. I don't plan on this being my only video update for the week. I'm hoping to do 2 or 3 in a week, I'm thinking. It's a little hard because I can't do this when Peyton is here. It's awkward. I feel weird. I feel like he's listening in and he's judging, and I know that he isn't. But, one of the things I really liked about the Social Anxiety Institute, check out the website. It's really awesome. Just socialanxietyinstitute.org. And they have this section of the website that's all, what is social anxiety? What does it feel like to have social anxiety? Why is social anxiety a thing? Just all of these. Blah. And one of the things that it mentions that so very much describes how my brain works during panic attacks and during episodes of anxiety and that sort of thing is that
people with social phobias and with anxiety and social anxiety generally understand that their thoughts are irrational. So when I go out and I feel like everybody's looking at me, I know that that's not a rational thought. When I walk past a group of people and they start laughing, rationally, I know that they're not laughing at me. It's just timing. But it's almost as if people with social anxiety don't know how to behave and think rationally. That's not the, to go all Pavlov, that's not the conditioning that we've had. It's not within our skill set necessarily. And so it's the balance, and I say this to Peyton all the time when I'm standing on the edge of an attack or even in the middle of it, is that I know this isn't true, but it's the only thing that I know. And I had said I think in my text post, that sometimes in the middle of a panic attack, I feel like if I stop moving, someone or something is just going to come in and kill me. And that is ridiculous. It is such an illogical thought, and I know that, but I can't stop it. I know that it's true that that is going to happen, but I also know that there's no way that that is ever going to happen. So yeah, check out Social Anxiety Institute website. So far, I'm loving the cognitive behavioral therapy. It's the first thing that I've tried that's not making me rehash all of my past daddy issues and why I feel this way. It's just helping me feel like I can stop being terrified every time I have to interact socially. So yeah, check it out. Check out my blog for more text posts and videos and updates and things like that. Anything you want to hear about, questions, let me know. And I don't know where my dog went. I'm gonna go find him. So I will see you will see me with the next video post.